At 2:11 in the morning, a veteran nurse collapsed in an empty hospital hallway for nearly 5 minutes. Her heart did not beat. Riverside Memorial was not a large hospital, but it was old. Built in the 1960s. Its long corridors were lined with flickering fluorescent lights and worn linoleum floors that echoed with every footstep. By day, it felt ordinary. By night, it felt different. Most wings went quiet after midnight. Machines beeped softly. Nurses moved slowly, and the building itself seemed to hold its breath. Staff often joked that the night shift belonged more to memory than to the living. Elena Carter had worked at Riverside for nearly 18 years. She was calm under pressure, respected by doctors, and trusted by patients. Colleagues described her as practical, grounded, and deeply professional. She did not believe in ghosts, spirits, or signs from beyond. To Elena, death was not mysterious. It was medical, clinical, and final. That certainty would be tested on one silent night in the quiet wing. Room 317 sat at the end of the third-floor corridor, far from the bustle of the emergency department. Over the years, several patients had passed away in that room. Not unusually so, but enough that staff whispered about it. Some nurses avoided it after dark. Others laughed it off. Elena belonged to the second group. At 1:58 a.m., the floor was almost empty. Only 2 patients remained on Elena's wing, both sleeping. The monitors hummed. The hallway lights buzzed. Elena walked past room 317 to check her chart, feeling only the familiar fatigue of a long shift. She never felt anything out of place. Then, without warning, her vision blurred. The walls seemed to narrow. A sharp pressure filled her chest. She reached for the wall, but missed. Another nurse heard a thud and turned just in time to see Elena fall to the floor. A code blue was called immediately. Doctors rushed in. Machines were wheeled down the hall. Chest compressions began. The heart monitor showed a flat line. No pulse. No response. By medical definition, Elena was dead. Later, Elena would say that at that moment, something changed. She did not feel pain. She did not feel fear. Instead, she felt as if she had risen above the floor. She could see her own body lying below, surrounded by doctors and nurses. She noticed small, precise details. A nurse dropped a pen. A doctor adjusted his glasses. Another hesitated before placing the defibrillator pads. All of it was real. All of it was confirmed later. Then, the hospital around her shifted. The walls stretched longer than they should have. The hallway became impossibly deep, fading into brightness at the far end. It was not Riverside, yet it felt familiar. At the end stood a doorway filled with soft, glowing light. Inside that light, Elena sensed someone waiting. No face, no voice, just a presence. She did not hear words, but she understood clearly. Not yet. The message was gentle, not commanding. Then, without warning, she felt herself pulled backward. Back in the hallway, doctors continued CPR. Seconds stretched into minutes. Then, suddenly, the monitor flickered. A pulse returned. Elena gasped. Her eyes opened. She was alive. Colleagues were shaken. Some whispered that she had crossed the line and come back. Others insisted it was nothing more than a brain reaction under extreme stress. Elena said little at first. She asked only one question: what time it was when she fell. The clock read to 11 a.m. over the following days. Elena described what she saw. The hallway, the presence. She insisted it did not feel like a dream. It felt more real than the hospital itself. After the incident, Elena never returned to night shift. She transferred to daytime hospice care instead. She became quieter, more reflective. She no longer feared death, but she also refused to call what she saw heaven. She described it simply as a waiting place. Room 317 still sits at the end of that quiet hallway. And somewhere between life and death, Lena believes she saw what waits for us all.